It appears sharia law applies everywhere here now, where I am. My speech is very poor now. They poisoned me with drugs to make me old, which was successful because I wasn't getting old. Cerebral sin not getting old, so they poisoned me to make me old. The more poison I take, the older I get. That's what's going on. I knew in the first place that was going on. So now I'm an old man, which is what I am. It's not so bad. But they can't tell the difference in the poison and the effect of the poison effect of old age. And basically, they're my enemy. They say they're treating me with drugs for old age, well, they are, but they make you old. You know? So I can't tell the doctors don't give me privilege to read the instructions on the bits of paper, the drugs they give me with the bits of paper in. So I don't know. What's going on there? And so it's impossible to tell what they're doing. So I'm slowly deteriorating. And the other thing I found out when I went shopping around near here, Astor it was, on Mission Common, I think it is, near Wooden Station, they have swords. So people with swords, you can hear them unsheathing them. They ring, wonderful noise. And they cut people's heads off, cut people's arms off, people's hands off, depending on the severity of the offence. That's sharia law. We don't do that in England, or we didn't when I was young. So we've lost to the Islamists, which is what I was warning about. And they ignored me and said I was an Islamist. The alternative, the Christians who would be just as bad because they apply the same rules. So we're not getting anywhere. The difference is who you decide the name of God, I think it is. That's the difference. That doesn't really matter. I'll soon be dead the way things are going. And I'm hungry now. I had a good meal. And they poisoned me to make up for it. And I got worse. So being hungry and having no drugs was the best way to carry on. And what they're doing now, I think it's something to do back here too. So I could take my kidneys out, which yes, I died. It's miserable psychopaths now. And up on the west of Ray, unpleasant place. I do bruising down here, which is what happens when they take the kidneys out. That bruise. So probably in the process of taking my kidneys out, it is. It's a very bad world. A very bad world, you see. And because my kids are no bloody good for it, but these are research. It is survived that long, well, not that old. And my mother was poisoned similarly, but she had worse poison than damage to the brain. They don't hear what I say. Maybe they will take notice because old men have no idea. Of course, they're quite right too. I've seen these drones and things, wonderful. But they all have one flaw, they need a source of power. And their batteries and so on are wonderful, but you need a prime mover. And this coil of wire, which my grandfather knew about, and he did years, you know. Grandfather, you see, he knew, and my mother knew, and the people of modern era have not been brought up to it. I know. But I think the Geneva Convention says it has to be after anybody's forgotten what it is. And I'm on the edge of that because I don't know what it was. And, it's more than just a coil of wire. Now, I have, first of all, the boss pretended, yes, he'd let me make it. When he saw his diagram, he rubbished it. Did you get a man from Harvard University? Well, that's in agreement with me. He's a good man, Harvard. Once he understands how probably knows what transformer bursting pressure is, and we'll know how to work it out. I couldn't answer that question, but I know it's there. That's what it's called. I use different words for it. It's a different calculation. And I did it by pressing the force on a conductor, on a loop of wire inside another loop of wire when alternating current is running the outer force, and I measured it. And it is in my notes. And because they've scrambled my notes, it's very difficult for me to do anything about it because I had to remind, so I can't get it back. But it was there, and it probably still is there. It's probably on a chip. The chip is in here. And if it's still there, somebody, well, the people interfere, I interfere with it, other people do as well. And I asked the company to make a backup, not just once, they pay for that. That's all it really is. I'm all mixed up with emails, because I've tried to upgrade my system from christopher.strober@hotmail.co.uk to christopher.strober@outlook.co. Missed both of them. First of all, I missed them because somebody else had them. That's probably still the case. Although when you try and log in, you say it's not no one there. When you try, when you get it, you say it is there. So madness, isn't it? So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm rather hungry. I can't drink. It's thirst, and it's what according to my watch, which is more accurate. There's a clock somewhere. No clocks in here. Wonderful little clocks. And that one is an hour fast. It's actually reading 8:30. It's actually 7:30. Well, I've got breakfast at about 6 or 7. It's not forthcoming. Now this is a French colony, so they have French food. Well, they've got French food. That's pretty good. It's pretty good food, French food, but when you try and sample it, they if you go to Germany, they know about these things. Unfortunately, I think that I heard that Brainstorm, who built one, has died. Or he died of radiation sickness a bit. I think he got 100,000 amps at 10,000 watts, which is rather a lot. So very dangerous. And then what's that? Joules, and it's 10,000. Joule is can't remember. I can't remember. It's E times I, or V times voltage times current. The Joule system is included in the volt system, voltaire. So it would have been 100,000 and 10,000 is quite a lot. So over a million gigajoules. It's an awful lot. And that sort of stored energy, so this tobacco stored energy. The main thing is the fusion reaction results bursting. See, the wire and the gas. Because the wire is fixed and the gas is moving, it goes in the middle, towards the middle. Gas is fixed, the wire is fixed, it's moving. In this case, if you can't see gas, it's not visible. See, that's the problem. With this mock-up, which I made another one, this one's broken. There's the winding, it's quite a small winding. I think it's, 10 turns? I think it was 10 turns. And in here, this just goes down, you see, to the so lush at this end, lush at the end of this one. I can get it up pointing towards the set switch is up there. So there's the light. As you see, there's the electrode at this end, and electrodes at this end. And between there's a gap, and when you have to start it just in the swell. I start swelling this, there's a gap, which is the same width as the gap of the winding, and there's an air gap, that's about, and You have to put RF on here at the same frequency. Sound remote. Everywhere remote transfer generating, because any RF generation just I did have a amateur radio, but that's 300 pounds. God, I need to touch that. And my cousins would not allow me to have it because, apart from being lacking imagination, Kim might do it. I still have them, but he's getting old too. And old people shouldn't have RF generators because they cause trouble, which is true because they make mistakes. So they think they can do it because they've done it all their lives, but when they get older, they can't. So when you're not too old, you train a younger operator, and he learns, and that's how it's always been. I mean, no objection to that thing. My mother apparently had some roads that I didn't know about. Or she said so when she was old. And she said on Mars there are something, not an animal exactly, but something they could communicate with. She said animals, but maybe it was plants. But the definition of life depends on this planet. So it must be on this planet. If it's alive, it's on this planet. Or from this planet, or on this planet. I believe they took because people are being taken away and put in prison, hospitals and things. It's very nice. I'm in a hospital, but they're poisoning me to make me do alley. I don't know what the poison is. It's probably aripiprazole for some like that, and that's the effect it has on the mind. You can see the slurring of the voice, and I can do it too, but I can't. I know, but there's me lucky charm, as I must say, which it is. It has no effect. It just gives my allegiance. So when they've got you, they're stripping you down for action, and that's it. Yes, he's one of us, so to speak. And that would work if it's a Muslim. So must sound like a Muslim. I think the Muslims I've met are reasonable people, but it is the transfuser was the thing that would solve the problem. I think they say it would save the human race, but it wouldn't do that. Nothing can save the human race, but it will save the world, as William said. But it will extend its life. Probably extend my life a bit more too. I'd like to be about this rather unpleasant one room apartment. Basically, it's a very small room. There's no kitchen. I can't cook my own food. There's somebody cooking for me, and there's no toilet shared. And I could give it a bit. I'll just keep going to sleep. I've been up all night, but you see, they gave me one wonderful pill that's supposed to clarify the mind and help me sleep. Of course, it wasn't sleeping now, but it's supposed to improve the circulation of the brain. Well, maybe it did. For a while, I was more interested, but they also gave me a water tablet. I think that's something that makes me fast water. And so I was in the toilet the whole time. I couldn't control it. That was the problem. First of all, I could control it. Now I can't. Now it's settling down. That didn't really good, did it? Yes, there we go. So I fell asleep. Very sorry. It's actually, it's just now, what time is it? I don't know what time it is. Don't know what time it is either. It's not what the time is. And I used to say very sort of clever things like, when there's the time, I said, well, I don't know what time it is, which is fundamental. Especially when things like 7:19, which is quite late. I think.